If I had one sentence to describe today's win, I could do so in just 2 words, and that is pure domination. What is going on, Pats Nation? It's Patriots Global here, back with another video. In this one, we're going to be talking about the shutout win that the New England Patriots just had against the Los Angeles Chargers here. 45-0. Yeah, you heard that right. You saw that game correctly. 45-0. And this is just all around the best game I've seen from the Patriots, not just in the 2020 season, but easily between the 2020 season and last year from the 2019 season. This is the second biggest shutout win that the New England Patriots have had in franchise history. The last biggest shutout they had came in 2009 against, I believe, the Tennessee Titans. And I was thinking, how do I go about this video? Do I just talk about post-game? Do I make a winners and losers video? Do I do a takeaway video? And I thought to myself, well, let's do a winners and losers video. But that video really would have just been compiled of winners, because when you have a shutout win, when you put up 45 points as a unit and hold the opposing team to 0 points, there's not much guys on that list that are going to be losers. I mean, whether you want to talk about defense, you know, Chase Winovich getting his first interception of his entire career, just playing really good, outstanding coverage. The way that he was able to just read the quarterback's eyes, drop back into coverage on that play. It looked like he was a veteran on that first interception of his career. Spectacular play there by Winovich. You want to talk about J.C. Jackson's 7th interception. He is second now in the NFL in interceptions, just behind Xavier Howard with the Miami Dolphins. Whether you want to talk about the offense, I mean, the offense was getting it going, and we'll talk about statistics here a little bit later in the video, but Cam Newton got going. N'Keal Harry, we finally saw that N'Keal Harry was not dead. We got to see Jarrett Stidham finally in a game, and not because of a negative impact. We got to see Jarrett Stidham for 8 minutes of a quarter, almost an entire quarter, because the Patriots were just blowing away the Chargers, and Belichick said, you know what? Well, let's not risk him getting injured. Let's pull him out right now. Let's throw Stidham in. And Stidham looked great. And we'll get into his statistics here in just a little bit. But of course, connecting with Gunnar on that big touchdown, having 3 pass attempts in which he completed 2 for a total of 61 yards. And again, that 1 touchdown. For the minimal passes that he was able to get, because Belichick did essentially just want him to run out the clock there, Stidham did look pretty good along there with a bunch of other guys offensively. And of course, the last part here being special teams. Special teams dominated today. And my thing here with special teams is that we have not seen special teams perform for the Patriots in a while. And when you put so much money and so much depth player-wise into special teams, as Belichick does, you expect more from this team, right? And the Patriots, before today's game, were still ranked in the top 5 with special teams, but Belichick puts more money into special teams and personnel than any team in the NFL. I think we'd all expect them to be at least top 3, and after today, they could potentially do so. Whether that was a blocked field goal attempt and they were able to return it for a touchdown. I believe it was Cody Davis who blocked it, and then you had Devin McCourty with the return for a touchdown. Whether you want to talk about Gunnar Olszewski's 70-yard punt return for a touchdown. Whether you want to talk about his second return that almost went for a touchdown. I believe that was over a 50-yard return also. If he broke one more guy, he would have been out for another punt return, which should have been his 3rd then, because let's remember last week he got robbed of one because of Anthony Jennings. All around, just an extremely dominant performance here by the New England Patriots, and I understand that, look, this is the Chargers. Their record is not great. They're one of the more bottom-tier teams in the league. But they have all season played extremely close with even some of the best teams in the league. Their problem has always been not being able to finish. They've played nothing but close games all season. They have not been blown out like this, not even close, all season long. So the fact that the New England Patriots were able to do so and do something that other teams weren't able to do while the Chargers were able to play at home, that was a statement by this team. And I think it's going to go unnoticed by a lot of people because this was not the Steelers, because this was not the Chiefs, because this was not the Seattle Seahawks, because this is not a top 5 team in the NFL. People are going to discredit it, and they're going to say that this was more of the Chargers and not so much the Patriots. Just like it was in the Patriots win, their dominant win against the Baltimore Ravens just a few weeks ago. But Justin Herbert, for me, is easily a candidate for Rookie of the Year. Me personally, even Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert has been the best rookie quarterback so far this year. He's been dominant. He's looked great. He's looked like a poised veteran. He's made some rookie mistakes, but I've not seen a better rookie quarterback than Justin Herbert. And today, the Patriots were able to hold him to just 53 pass attempts in which he completed 26 for just 209 yards and 2 interceptions. It is hard to fool a guy like Justin Herbert. That's something that not much teams have done all year long. Because he had so much competition in college, it's kind of hard to show him packages that he hasn't been able to see before. But today, Belichick did exactly that, and he was able to get to him in a way that no other teams have been able to do at all this season against the Chargers. They were also able to hold Eckler for just 8 attempts for 36 yards, so a pretty good day on the run game. They were able to hold Allen to 5 receptions for 48 yards, Williams for 4 receptions for 43 yards. On the other spectrum here for the New England Patriots, Cam Newton, not much passing today. You know, this was more of a run game today, him dominating within taking the ball and just being a scrambling quarterback. We saw a lot of that today, but he had 19 pass attempts in which he completed 12 for 69 yards. He did have 1 passing touchdown to N'Keal Harry, which was probably one of the big takeaways from this game offensively, but had 14 rush attempts for 48 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. So a total of 3 touchdowns on the day for Cam Newton. Now, running the ball today was still pretty efficient. Damian Harris was able to get about 80 yards today on 16 attempts. Gunnar Olszewski with a career day. You know, what he was able to do on special teams we talked about earlier, but as a receiver, he was able to put up 1 reception for 38 yards and 1 touchdown with Jarrett Stidham, like we talked about earlier, and then N'Keal Harry with that run, 1 reception for 1 touchdown. I mean, even Sony Michel today caught a pass from Jarrett Stidham when Jarrett Stidham came in the 4th quarter and was able to catch a pass and looked good in doing so. Looked really good in yards after the catch, which is that 1 pass attempt, or not 1 pass attempt, but 1 catch that he was able to make. And it just seemed that every little spot that the Patriots had, whether it was bright spots from the past, whether it was down spots like, you know, Sony Michel or N'Keal Harry, everybody was able to build their confidence today. Everybody was able to up their game and up their performance in some type of way. And today's game is going to be much more needed than so many people realize, because this built so much confidence in this team today, and you can see it. You can see it during the game, you can see it after the game, and this team, the players, everybody, whether it's special teams, defense, offense, was able to come together as a team and pull this one out. And when you are able to perform as a team, you are able to win in all phases of the game, and you are able to bring yourselves together, coaching staff-wise, player-wise, it is going to truly show within the locker room, show what's on the field. And when you're able to have that locker room presence, that chemistry off the field, that is just as important as having elite and top-of-the-notch players. I think what we saw today just goes to prove the point that if this team can get consistency going, then they can be a successful team. If they could have been a successful, consistent team from the beginning of the season, we'd be talking about a totally different New England Patriots team right now. But because this team has never been able to play on offense, defense, or special teams, playing well, consistent on the same day, that is why this team is where they're at right now. That's why their record is where they're at right now, because some weeks the offense plays good and the defense plays bad, and then it's going to be vice versa. This team has proved that they cannot just rely on the offense to do it. They cannot just rely on the defense to do it. They can't just rely on special teams to do it. If all 3 phases can just do their job, they don't have to have some blowout elite game every week, although that would be amazing. But if they can just do their job each week and do it at just an average, consistent level, then we can consistently pull out these wins. Now guys, real quick, NFL football does continue on this week, which does have a few surprise teams at the top of the standings, and you might not be able to be at a game this year, but you can still get in with all the action at BetOnline. Now, no matter how schedules change or players that play, BetOnline is going that extra mile to make sure that you get in on every game imaginable this season with the fastest updated odds in the industry. And there are always more options to wager than anywhere online. All you have to do is head to BetOnline today and take advantage of all of their great mid-season bonuses, offers, and contests. Again, that is BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. All in all, today was the perfect game. I don't think that any of us could ask for anything better. I can't really think of much down spots other than, of course, Cam Newton having that one fumble, Damian Harris having that one fumble. They're lucky that they were able to recover those, but you gotta take care of that ball just a little bit better. But of course, other than that, there are really no actual turnovers here offensively. Cam Newton didn't do anything crazy today, but because of how special teams were able to set this offense up, because of how the defense was able to perform and set up the offense did not have to go out there and perform lights out, which, like I said, if they can consistently be in that position going forward, this team is going to be able to win football games at a consistent rate. The Patriots' playoff hopes are still alive here as they head into their following week here next week, playing another Los Angeles team. This time is going to be the Rams. This is going to be a true testament. The rest of this season is going to be as the schedule follows. And what I mean by that is going to be the schedule is just going to get easier from here. Their hardest opponents go in order. It's going to be the Rams, it's going to be the Bills, it's going to be the Dolphins, and then it's going to be the Jets. Those teams in order is hardest to least hardest. And of course, the Bills, the Dolphins, the Rams, these are all pretty good teams. They are all playoff caliber teams. So the Patriots have their work cut out for them, but if they can perform like we saw them today, the Patriots could be in the playoffs. But that's going to be it for today's video. What are your guys' thoughts on this just dominant win today, this shutout win for the New England Patriots? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember, just give you a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. But like always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. In Astro World.